challenges, but we have had some successes throughout it. And you got one, two.
I have the little sheet I gave you at the very front. It just, I've talked to y'all about the new landscaping at the community house. The hardwood floors have been repaired and refinished. The senior center opened in June, June the 8th. It went without incident. We've had no sickness, no illnesses or anything coming from it. The lake project, I know Mike probably touched on it, but the renters, the walker, we have a lot of walkers. People stop, knock on the door and say, hey, that lake looks fabulous. So, that's some things that, some positive input from the community that we have had. So, in the landscaping, the Southern Farm, I guess, is who's at, and Jason Shadburn are working together. They have done he's done some really good things, and they've even donated things to us. We added some rock sculpture like features, and then they donated solar lights to accent the different focal points and to get us some more light by the front door. So they look really nice. Been a good company to work with.
Right. Let's see, as we go down, we look at, I guess it was 6 to 410.
6 on the building maintenance, I'd like to put it at $4,000. Telephone, that's Amanda and them. I don't know how that goes. Utilities, I'd like to go, I think we can do at 9,000.
They don't have a cell phone over there, right? Okay, so they don't have nothing because the telephone is all in one.
Okay.
And the general pays it.
Okay.
So I didn't know if they had.
There is a phone there.
Yeah, there's a phone
Yes,
there,
there's a landline.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but it's all inclusive in
Okay.
our general
Okay.
revenue.
That MyTel
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Departmental supplies, $200. And as far as I know, as far as equipment and tools, I can't think of anything that we need additional over there.
Yeah, you're pretty good shape.
Yeah, tables, chairs, that's then refrigerators repaired, the ice maker, no trouble. Alabama Tom Bigby, the company that they contract with, furnishes the warmer. So if anything goes out, they replace it. So I think we're good there.
It's 3,100 or.
That was what was in the budget this year, and I really don't know what it was in there for.
Why don't you put 500 on it and go with it?
Well, that's what I had, okay. Just put 500 in case anything arises.
Yeah.
And then equipment repair, I'd put 500 on it too. We've had to, have the refrigerator worked on a couple of times, but I think Mr. Lett has that going, but just in case something else was to go wrong there. The fuel and oil, have we just been getting a good rate? What that last year and this year, our fuel is just, I don't know if it's getting all, I'm gonna have to check with Mike.
I mean, they're using their PIN number.
Yeah,
on
and
the card.
she fills up like every 10 days.
I get
you
the
know?
full report from
Okay.
Michael, so unless.
But I put 750. We had put 1,500. And I know the year before last, somebody's number had gotten crossed over in with ours, I think, and that's, we had a mess up. But let's put 750 there just in case there's a cross up and Mike catches it.
That's fuel and oil.
Yes, sir. And then I'd like to put 500 under vehicle maintenance.
The vehicles you got, Sandra, what's the mileage and the age on?
The only vehicle we have over there, and that's the one, because everything Melissa has had, we've had was hand-me-downs and they've all gone to the graveyard. So Melissa doesn't have anything to drive. She's driving her own personal from place to place. So that was something I was going to talk to y'all about on that. But it's 3 years old. It'll be 4 years old in October, I believe. Probably has less than 15,000 miles on it. But it's hard miles because it's stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, all through the city. It's no long miles on it. So
What kind is it?
Ford Focus,
Ford Focus?
just a little SUV. So, and I would really like when we get to the custodian thing about getting some, maybe a new vehicle for the senior center, another small vehicle like that, and then let Melissa have that little one, to jot around to all the different places she goes each day. Let's see, the travel, Amanda, I asked her about that. That is something that Alabama Tom Bigby, that's with Alabama Tom Bigby.
Yeah. Like we expense it
We
out.
pay them, they pay us. It's sort of a wash.
Yeah.
So, but she'll know, year before it was 186.44. This year it was 100. So I don't know if next year, if we just need to put 100 in there to do that again. What do you think?
100 would be fine.
So if just go with the 100 there on that travel. And on the uniforms, I guess we got crossed last year. I was asking for $250 per person. So there's 2 at the senior center. So that's Becky and Doris. That way we can get the shirts and the jeans, whatever we need, but we need to get very good skid resistant, skid proof, slip resistant tennis shoes. And those are about $100 a piece. So that's, if we get $250 for each person, then I can get us uniformed for the year.
I question to some point on that. I understand, we do provide all our other departments uniforms. I guess fine in that thing. I mean, a lot of time, most jobs that just were not required a certain type of dress, you furnish them yourself.
Well, we do. We've been buying t-shirts every year, but with the Clorox and all the chemicals and stuff that we work in, that's the reason every once in a while they would throw in a couple pair of jeans or something because of the usage on it, and the shirts, because they have to mop with bleach, and we all have to mop with bleach and clean with bleach, and everything has to be sanitized, so that ruins your personal clothes.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we had started doing the uniform type thing. So, but then they had told me y'all had told me last year that I'm smothering, that we needed to get the slip resistant shoes. Well, we tried what Walmart had. And from the money that I had, it wasn't enough to get the kind of shoes that we need. Those, you can't function in them during the day because your feet, you would be at the podiatrist with your feet because they're just no cushion, no support. And they really weren't slip resistant. So they weren't very good. Mike, not Mike. Yes, it is. What is Mike's last name? Cajun Creations.
Yes, it's Somalia.
Samelia. He has got some different companies that he can get some, like Skechers, some good name brands, footwear that are slip resistant. So that's what I was wanting to look at.
And I think that was because of our insurance, because of the kitchen that y'all have over there.
The being in the kitchen, the mopping, all that, they wanted us to have something that would be on the employees. So if they fail, it wouldn't be our fault. It would be.
Well, we've done all we could. Is what it basically
Yes,
amounts
we've
to.
done what we can, and that's the reason like I said, I wanted to see about getting that.
So what's the number you're looking at now?
For the nutrition center, I'd like, instead of the 250, I'd like to get 500. And that way that would supply them with their shirts, their shoes. And if we had anything left over, we can give it back. Now, do y'all want my wish list on that one?
What's the dues and the subscriptions?
The dues and subscriptions is, that's what we have to pay to Alabama Tom Bigby to be a member of the Alabama Tom Bigby
So it's a-
Regional Commission.
It's a set amount of.
It is, yes, it's set. And we need to add that 65 cent in because each year the budget doesn't have it, but we have to pay that.
I just did 4282.
Okay. And then the professional services, that would be like the exercise instructor and all that. But as of right now, the company, one of the, is from Grove Hill. They're from Grove Hill. I can't think of the name of the company, but Molly Wiggins used to be with Inglewood. Now she's with them. And they are letting her come in and do our exercise program for free. That is something that they are out there. It's all been okayed with Alabama Tom Bigby. Because, we would have to find them, get them trained, and Alabama Tom Bigby would always reimburse the city. So, but right now she's trained, she's okay through Alabama Tom Bigby, and it's at no cost to the city.
How long do you think that's going to be in place?
They have talked to Becky, and from right now, they have it set up through the end of the year. So in next year, they're thinking she will be every Wednesday. They have it set up for her to do that. And then she does her visiting and the different, I guess, the hospital doctor's offices and things that she does.
Do you think they would mind sending us an email or a letter or something to that effect?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can get them to do that. Because like I said, I can't think of the name of the group. She was one of the ladies that was there, Mayor Thursday.
Okay.
So they all have, like I said, I can't remember. They're the ones that deal with dementia patients when getting their medicines straight, when they've gotten their medicines all messed up and stuff, but I can't remember the name of the company. Okay, on this little handout I gave you, there's a little half sheet, and that's my wish list for the senior center. We need that back door fixed. It sticks, and I'm afraid it's going to get broken because I'm not saying it sticks little, it sticks hard. And sometimes you almost have to take your foot, put it on the other side, to yank it open. Tim came and took the little metal piece out, and in the wintertime you can open and close it. But in the summertime, it doesn't, it sticks. So.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you if somebody looked at it, because
Yes.
generally, if you redo them hinges, that's going to take care of it.
King Glass has worked on it numerous times, thinking they have gotten it right, and it never was
Of course, we
right.
got a new glass place in town.
Yes, we'll see the guy that
I know
worked
it,
for him
but
was with King Glass, so
Yeah.
I was gonna get Preston to come out and get him to do. Because the last bid, we had turned it in and they didn't, last year, I think it is, when I turned it in asking for it, it was gonna be something like $2,600 because they were gonna have to take it. I do not understand, I'm not a construction engineer, but from all understanding is they had them to put the doors frames in before they bricked it or put whatever. Then after they bricked it and it as it's settled, it's smashed, and now the doors are not fitting in there correctly. The doors needs to be, you can take it down. They said they could take it apart and cut it and do all this other, and it would be about the same price as just putting a new door in.
What kind of door is it?
It's
it
metal with
metal?
glass, has the panic hardware in it. It's just a basic.
that's why I don't, I can't comprehend being that much, that you can't replace the hinges and the feet and all that stuff.
Oh, all that's been replaced.
And then not take care of it.
No,
That's-
but see,
Since we're putting a
it's,
new door in, it's
it's not just hanging there, it's hanging in the frame itself.
Yeah.
So the one that the way it's put in there. So, like I said, Tim, he's come, he tried, he couldn't get anything. We've had everybody, I think, from Public Works has worked on it, trying to get something done. And we've had King Glass over the years to come out, look, do, they tried to work on it. And it just keeps going back to the same thing. So
This is the back door.
this is the back door.
Is that
Front door's
need-
fine.
They need to have a glass in it. So that probably would reduce the cost. So.
You probably have to have a glass code wise, probably.
Probably, that would be a FEMA, and maybe actually a FEMA question, because they're the ones that supplied the funds, didn't they, for the building?
Part of it, yeah.
So.
But it's a evacuation center.
Mhm. And it may not cost that much, but when your computers are down for almost, when your internet's down for 2 weeks, it's hard to get all your quotes and estimates back in. So, but I do know it was like $2,600 or $2,800 the last time we had somebody to come in to look at it and give us a bid on fixing it.
Well, we can put it in there. If we don't have money, we can come back and look at taking it out.
Well, and hopefully, you never know, he may I may get another person to come in on his own and give me a much better price, because,
I mean, the door, those type of doors are very expensive. I mean, any type of commercial framing is expensive. That's not the issue of that. Installing a new door frame and everything in there, don't think that's out of line. I just am surprised that redoing the hardware, because that's usually what happens with them is your hinges and your mounts on your bottom, your pivot points on that is what wears down. Because I've had washateers over the years, we've had to go back and redo that, but within reason, a couple $100 replaces those items,
Right.
and you go back at it again.
well, I think they have already done some of that. This door has been a problem just about since it was open.
Well, that's probably some of the issue of what you said there. Has been that. And that makes me worry about what you put back in there is you're gonna have the same problem.
So.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to do a little of something with the landscaping out there. There's absolutely nothing on the side where the playground is at. The left, if you're looking at the building, the left side, there's nothing there. And then they have come in and trimmed it up and tried to get it looking presentable, but there's no bed there anymore. It's just, they're having to weed eat and stuff up in there. It just needs to be updated a little bit if we possibly could. Those are my two on the wish list for the senior center.
Door is definitely more important than the landscaping at this time. But
Yes, because I really am
There's a-
afraid that it's
we gotta
gonna
landscape
break.
it for here, don't we?
Dibble and dabble a little bit.
Well, there you go.
See, if Brenda would win out there, I got the flower bed going, I mean, the garden going today, you can go get that landscaping in
I don't know about that.
there.
Y'all, Brenda is tending to my mama. I'm so excited. My mama loves her at home. She goes to my mama's house.
It's in Mexico.
Excel. Okay, the next thing, 6066 Community House. Glasses are fogging up. The first would be 6410. I'd like to leave it at, I know we have not spent it this year, but we've not had what we've been having as far as building maintenance and stuff. So I'd like to leave that at 8,000 like we have the last couple of years.
What did the redoing the floors go under? Did it go under that or?
I haven't even seen a bill.
The floors go under capital improvement.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. And that's 1750 for that. But have we gotten a bill for the repair?
Not the list past one.
Okay.
Not yet. It may be on that staff to have it.
Okay. Because that might drop drastically when you get a bill on where they had to redo that for that water damage. Telephone be the same. I won't have a telephone bill.
Unless you want a cell phone.
I don't know. That's too many. It's hard enough for me to keep up with one cell phone, let alone try to keep up with two. So there's nothing in the request there. I'd like to keep the utilities at 21,000. This year, it's not, I think we're gonna be fine, but next year, good Lord willing, it's gonna be busy enough that we will need that 21,000 to carry us through the
Yeah, you
year,
weren't open for quite a few months, weren't you?
several months. And y'all know how many requests we've had for someone to get
Yeah.
a refund because of COVID. So, but I think, I think it's booked up pretty much through the rest of this year, through December. On, let's see, departmental supplies, 250. The equipment and tools, I don't see anything that I need. I'm good with tables, chairs.
The only thing that I've seen at all is possibly another cart, a big, one of the bigger heavy duty ones.
Yeah, but we can order that out of the building maintenance
Yeah,
or
that's about
whatever.
the only thing. Everything else is good shape,
Mm-hmm.
except for getting hot water yet in that middle aisle.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know if that'll live, because it came in before, it came in through the roof, came in through the ceiling.
And that's what we may have to do.
So,
Uh,
and when
And now that you don't rely on that little hot water heater up under the sink, you do come from elsewhere.
yeah, it goes,
And-
I
yeah.
think it goes, it's in the little storage closet that we keep locked when renters have it, because that's where we have our supplies. And it's a 40-gallon, but I think it must run all the way around the building before it comes back to
Yeah.
the kitchen sink.
Yeah. You gotta let it run
Yes.
5 minutes before you get hot
Yes.
water there.
It
Before we
takes-
used to have a little 5-gallon under the sink and it'd run 2 minutes, you'd be out.
Uh-huh.
So they tied back into that.
When that one kind of kicked the bucket, they just went ahead and tied back into the gas hot water heater. Equipment repair.
Do you want to leave like about?
Yeah.
You better
1,500 or
leave
something?
something, yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave a little bit. So, and we've been doing 1,000. We haven't had to use it,
Why don't you do
but it's there if we do.
1,500, why don't you do it?
All right, be glad to go to 1,500.
For equipment and equipment repair, or just
Yeah,
equipment?
probably for both of them.
And then on uniforms, it's not on your list. I don't think it wasn't on mine. It's 67.70. I'd like to go to 300. That would get me and Miss Janie. Miss Janie wouldn't need slip resistant shoes because she doesn't, have to mop or anything. I need nothing in fuel and oil or vehicle maintenance because I do not have a vehicle. Unless y'all want to fix my vehicle if it tears up or put gas in it.
On that request, uniforms and something.
300. Quick question. I think at our meeting, a couple of weeks ago, Mayor, that Tim said, according to city code, we had to have a water fountain or a water cooler in the building. Was that correct?
I believe so, but the one down there we had, it's not working.
And I have found one, I don't know how it would be, but it looks just like it. But it is on sale for $429.95, regular $908. Y'all, I did not know these things were this expensive.
We would use freestanding ones and they're about $1,000 a piece.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. $1,000 to $2,000 is what I have been, was finding.
So there's your tools and equipment and tools.
Well, but I was thinking since I've still got money in last year, this past year's budget, if y'all said, go ahead and check into this and see about getting one on the way, I've got the money to go ahead and do it.
Is it already, you already got power there and drainage and everything?
This water fountain
Okay.
looking is sitting right, it's hanging in the hall.
Okay.
So I don't think it would be anything to get Floyd or Jimmy Moody might put it in
Yeah,
for us.
that wouldn't be a major
So
installation.
we'll do that here. Oh, you haven't got anything else to hold on to, so I'm gonna give you that. Did I have another note on that?
I wanted to get into the fourth quarter. I see on here where you got about the AC unit.
Mm-hmm.
And since we are into the fourth quarter, we go back and try and look and see if we can find funds to go ahead and get that done, that'd be one thing that we wouldn't have to deal with.
Well, that's the reason I put it down at the bottom, because I knew we had talked about it and you were gonna see if we had the funds this year to get it done, so I didn't want to use it as one of my wish,
Okay.
on my wish list. Do you all see it? I would love to have that building painted and gutters added. Y'all just, I brought my phone in. I know it's not professional to do that, but I wanted y'all to get an example of the water that hits the ground in those flower beds. And this is what floated all of our landscaping down the road.
Quick question.
Okay.
I know you said paint building and add the gutters.
Uh-huh,
Which would be the most important, the gutters or the paint?
both.
The gutters
The
probably.
gutters.
The gutters, but then I would want to change, I don't know. The building, it's gotta be cleaned, if not painted. I mean, it's got
I get what you're
mildew
saying.
and, but I would love to see the building painted and the gutters added. I think that would just, we need to step up our game to keep competitive with one of the new rental businesses in town. The better we look inside and out. the-
I agree with you, but like, when you show that picture right there, maybe the most important thing is address the water issue first. And then we come back and look at painting.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather sit in the cold and sit in the hot for that AC for the office than get the building painted.
I use the same.
So that's,
As we go down, we look at priorities. If we did the gutters first, the next step would be to go through and paint the building. Okay. Then when we go down here and we look, and I see where you have fenced enclosure around all the AC units, and landscaping around the building. But where would the doors then become?
well, see, I was not given any, that wasn't even out. Tim told me y'all had put him in charge of the doors, and that's all I know.
Okay.
So I don't know. I asked Preston the other day if he, when he came, because we had a little incident with a window, and he said that he had updated, but see, I never get any information, so I have no idea what any of the cost or anything
So
are.
we need to go back and follow up
Mhm.
on the doors and everything.
Because that wasn't,
That's taken care of, then,
and it makes it hard when when I don't know what's going on at the building.
Right.
And what's being done. So, because if I would have had Preston out there, I would have had King Glass out there, any, Hammer, whatever, and we would have had our prices and I would have been ready for you, but I don't know anything about that.
Okay. I'm making a note.
Well, at the bottom, the community house immediate need, that is about that if we get gutters, that would take care of my immediate need.
Right.
And the paved road and the parking lots, Mike said that fell under something completely different than,
We are looking at that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Probably not the top parking lot, probably the bottom.
well, if we can get that, if it can get shaved a little bit, just to keep that water running in front of that little
Right.
standing area at the community house, it would keep, I think that would finish
Whenever
with
we do-
gutters and that would keep the water out of the building.
Whenever we do it, we have to widen that area where you're coming into there. And that's one of the things that hold up, because that's gonna be some money there too.
Okay.
And there's no sense in us paving it if we can't get a fire truck in there. I mean, if there's an event there and there's a line of cars parking, you cannot get a fire truck in. You can't even get a car through there sometimes when it's a
Right.
big event
Mhm.
on that last little curve before you go in.
Yeah, right about the pavilion area where the fire hydrant's at, where you're not supposed to park.
Yeah.
And that's where everybody
Yeah.
wants to
I'm
park
just saying
at.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
One day it's gonna get us.
Yeah. So the rest is just, things to look at on things that I would like to see done. updating lights in the dining room at the community house, improve the lighting, and I know that y'all done some lighting improvement, you by changing the bulbs or whatever to LED or something, just to get us a little more light, especially under the circumstances of things that have been happening lately. Couches for the foyer, add light in the hallway between the foyer and the hall, countertops in the kitchen.
Did we not do something with couches several years ago?
We got rid of them.
Got rid of them, what it was? I knew there was some comment because people were wanting them.
They were so,
Yeah.
you know, they were
They were all-
torn.
Yeah, I
and-
know,
But we did keep the loves, the sectional.
Yeah, I didn't
The
know if we,
sectional
I didn't
was-
know if we replaced it, but I know people were asking about if we got rid of them, they wanted them.
Right. And then when we said, when y'all did that and said, you know, we did them for salvage or whatever, got no bids on it. And then it was, if you want them, just come get them, and nobody would come get them. So I think Mike and them had to haul them to the dump. Mhm.
So, I mean, I missed that because I knew somebody that wanted them, but anyway, passed now.
Everything on 6085 is Melissa.
One quick question.
Okay, yes,
I
sir,
know
I'm
you
sorry.
had on here about new commercial gas stove. How urgent is that?
It's not urgent. It's just something I'd love to have, so I didn't have to. I would love to have one that when you walked in the building, you didn't smell gas.
This one's pilot light, not
Uh-huh.
electronic condition.
Okay.
And I would like for us, if, you know, if y'all go through the budget and you say, oh, y'all, look here, we have this extra money just sitting here we need to spend. Sandra would love to have a new stove for the community house. That's what that wish was for.
Okay,
That is if you see the extra money.
okay.
That's the only thing that they work if you know how to work them. They're not user friendly to a normal person going in there totally because people using a home unit.
Right.
But,
And they'll leave them on all weekend.
yeah, they leave them on all
Sandra
weekend
comes
and
in
then the
on
power
Monday.
lights out and there's nobody there to figure out how to light them back up. I mean, I've come in before and people say, I can't get stove work. I would have been cooking 2 hours ago. Somebody, not necessarily us, somebody else coming in there, but
I know we had one lady, they were wanting some
They want
money back
refund.
because they said the ovens didn't work. Only one of them did. And we said, well, did you turn the other one on? Huh? Well, it has 2 ovens, so you have 2 knobs. And they had not turned the other one on. That kind of stuff.
And there's directions above the stove of how to light it and how to get
Yes.
it to turn on.
And one of them says, if you have trouble and you cannot do it, get Miss Janie, you know? But I have come in before and had to pray that nobody slipped in behind me and turned on a light switch because I'm going in and opening every door in the community house because they will blow the pilot lights out, thinking that they're not supposed to be left on. So they'll blow them out. So then gas just fills the building all weekend. So anyway, y'all have any other questions, comments for me on that?
That was the big.
Okay, on 6085, everything the same. Only thing, I don't know about, now what about employee welfare for the other? Do I need to add, because that has employee welfare, and that's only on the only one it has it on,
I'll have to add that, 'cause employee welfare is included
right?
outside
So,
of our regular.
but that, you know, like if y'all would like for me to check into the state bid on a small vehicle to replace at the nutrition center, and then you let Melissa have the one that's out there, then y'all let me know and I can get that to you as soon as possible. Do I need to leave this for,
You gave me the cooler, the water fountain.
do I need, but what did oh, here it is. Do I need to leave you this for, Anthony and Mr. Larry and
Al.
Al? Yeah. So that way they can be looking. All right. Can I answer anything else?
on this question?
Well, and thank y'all for our raise. It made me smile a little bit when I got the thing showing where my money would be deposited tonight, so. Thank y'all. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to give me a holler.
All right.
Thank you.
That's the.
Okay, coordinator. Since she's up there.
I think I heard her over here, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she got that call. Must have heard. Oh, she may be up there with Felicia.
What number is it?
She's 60/30. And then just behind hers, I just put what has happened in the past. 2 years, her events, the events that she's had. My bad, she's 60/60.
Or we end up starting.
At 1.
Hello, how you doing?
Great,
You can come up here, Dawn.
wonderful. Everybody's so dressed up.
I've been dressed up. They said mine, I had on a suit yesterday. I didn't cook.
Wait, why weren't you here? You could have
I've
seen
got
it.
time.
But,
You should have me put it in the paper.
Him and the mayor took a picture together.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But she all dressed up.
But now you gotta consider Mike, I didn't know who he was. He had to introduce himself to me. I mean, didn't recognize him out there.
We just do things a little bit different.
But I'm saying, you need to put it in one on Joe.
Let's see, I had all of the department heads, yesterday. And they were all dressed out. But
Oh,
we
you
had
did say
photos.
that. Oh, she wouldn't be a department head. But you can still, because you know she was dressed up too.
Yeah, well, we can give them both back with Sandra handling them. And, so she, yeah, here, we take a picture real quick.
Do I need to leave these for everyone else?
Yeah, this is Mr. Larry's pile, and then the other two are down there.
Okay. Perfect.
Put it on there. Stack.
Ken just went out, he'll be back right here.
He was there for 30 minutes.
Did he?
He's coming back.
He
He's
left
coming back.
everything.
Oh, okay.
You have pictures?
Well, I was gonna get, see, I'm saying.
Is she still in there? I might be. I'll do it.
Because if someone speaks right now, that's the department head. And if you put that, that's just, you go.
Yeah, she's already left.
Okay,
All right.
what do you want to say?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Right
All
here.
right.
Oh,
You take your minute.
take them off of you.
All right. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Wife's gonna look at it and say, what are you doing all these women pictures? with me?" Ah!
Yeah, we'll try it and go back and get some more. I'll tell the other department leaders.
We can make them dress up.
Are you-
Another day.
Right.
All right.
Well, as your city events coordinator, I have brought last year's information and what we did last year and to the right. And then we also did a 221 budget review and forecast, which gives you the information on each event that we were able to complete. And we wrote the accounting budget expenditures for each one. So they are on the right-hand side. And like I said, like Halloween Bash, the event was actually canceled, but we had received permission allowing businesses, boutiques, restaurants, and municipalities to decorate their storefronts, hay bales with a traditional Halloween Bash contest, which was a good thing because it lifted up the community while we were still in an uncertain period. It allowed us to be socially distanced, to stay in our bubbles with our families, and still promote downtown in our area. And a lot of other businesses also teamed up with us from outside the downtown and decorated. So it was great. And it helps to bring other people into our community. So it just wasn't just us. It was the surrounding counties. We're known for that. So they come and visit us and they feel safe enough that they can come out and stay in their bubbles and take pictures. So it was a good positive thing that we did during the pandemic. During the grand illumination and winter market, we were able to practice social distancing with state of Alabama public health guidelines. We used masks, hand sanitizer, wash stations. We partnered with the EDA with that. They had some hand sanitizer stations, so they let us borrow those that day. Also, the churches, schools, applause stand, studio, and flip, and our farmers market was out there, and homemade artisans were there this year. And also, I decided to add a few new things that we could do. So I had our son, Isaac Bruton, build a switch for the city of Monroeville. So we had a fancy switch this year to switch over the Christmas tree and turn the lights on. And then we hosted a wreath contest with the store owners and promoted the event with a keepsake hand-painted Christmas ornament that was done by an artist from the Monroe County Library, and they use that as a fundraiser. So we were able to accomplish that during our grand illumination event and winter market. The Mobile Symphony was canceled. It wasn't in the budget. Coastal Alabama Community College was on virtual only with their students. We took advantage of that time to work with the EDA again and get our lists ready for this year and get our letters ready. And they have both been signed by the mayor and the probate judge of Monroe County, and they have been sent off. So we're already working on this year. The Cajun Takeover and Mardi Gras parades were canceled completely. We did not spend any money off of that budget, off those budget line items at all, because we felt that it was better to save that and use that money wisely for down the road if things opened up at a certain time. So we decided to do a COVID class partnership with a woman out of Birmingham, and we hosted at the First United Methodist Church. And it was an informal gathering at Wesley Hall just to discuss COVID, what we could do in our homes to prevent COVID from spreading. And we had only about 15 to 20 people there. But what an asset it was to have like the EDA or EMA director there as well. So they actually gave us a lot more information than we would have normally had and hosted that. We were able to do Alabama PALS, citywide spring cleanup, and the DEA drug take back program this year. And the information is listed in the sheet. We actually had a big year. We collected 213 trash bags but that is because we went to people when they weren't coming to us on certain days, we went to them. And we also signed up the schools with the Alabama PALS campus cleanup program. So they were eligible for different contests and monies with that. So we were able to do that with the state of Alabama. The Freedom Fest pageant went well. Out of 24 participants, 15 were inducted and they were crowned. They were recognized in June at the city council meeting. On July 1st, they promoted the city of Monroeville's Freedom Fest celebration with our country's 245th birthday on the air with WMFC radio station. And we also videoed the Freedom Fest court for syndicated WKRG Channel 5 and Channel 10 with Fox News. And they will be saying the Pledge of Allegiance on Monday with Channel 5. So you'll see them on TV, and they will also be on Facebook. And they're all dressed in their red, white, and blue ensembles. So they'll have that. Touch a Truck. Normally, we would have hosted a school field trip at the Vanity Fair dialogues for all the schools to attend. We were not able to do that because of the pandemic. As a result, we decided to get special permission from the superintendent as well as Amy McCrory, the principal of MES, to actually have it at MES. So we were still able to touch 400 kids that day and have a successful event. We had, out of our normal 56 industries there, we had 30 industries there with us. I invited Darlene to come over and Jody to come over as well, just to greet them while they were there, because that's just a plus. So we were able to do that. Monroeville Market Days. We experienced a very cold spring this year. Early on, we sold stored veggies and grass-fed USDA beef. The growers' produce did not appear till late May, but it is very strong right now. We were not able to do the farm to table this year because of the way it was set up, that the USDA did not want us passing out food like that this year. So we wanted to put that off till next year. So we have that in the budget again for next year as it's set up. Also, while we were in the pandemic, they required us to all be state sanctioned again. So we had to go through a very timely process of being state sanctioned again. So it was about 15 pages long that we had to type up so we could still receive senior vouchers from Monroe County. And there were approximately, I think we had up to 12,000 seniors signed up this year, utilizing RSVP and the senior program that we have here with the city and others through social media. We were able to sign them up through the state and get that accomplished. And let's see, and we're partnered with Sweet Grown Alabama, which is the agri-tourism part of the state for agriculture. And our growers took advantage of the Safe Serve class during the pandemic to qualify us to do Farm to Fork. The course is valued at $300 and the certificate is good for 3 years. And during the month of April, it was free. So while everybody was sitting at home, I encouraged them all to take that Safe Serve class. So now they are eligible to cook their own food out there. And that was a win-win for us out there. So that'll be good. Freedom Fest went off with a hitch this year. Everything went well. We had to find security. We were able to secure, I believe it was 5 to 6 officers from the sheriff's department that were volunteering to work for us that night, and we paid them accordingly. And so I only heard of one incident that night where we had some girls that were in a little fester, but it was squashed pretty fast, so we got that handled. So I think it was the right move to go ahead and hire those extra people in to have that happen. And then again, we did the Monroeville, the Beautiful campaign this year. I co-chaired it with Debbie Lee, Emily Martin, Patty Smith, and Joanne Snowden. We gathered information regarding the city of Monroeville ordinances, the county landfill information. We raised $7,000 for promotions and signs. There's 30 anti-litter signs that are now out on the streets. Thanks to the county, they made those signs for us. And we worked with AlDOT to put them on the state right away. So they are out and about. We also created the second Saturday cleanups within the city of Monroeville districts with the mayor and the city council members. A Facebook page was created, town hall discussing gathering participants. Titus Howard is on board with the campaign with us. The Chamber of Commerce was able to obtain supplies through America the Beautiful campaign, and Walmart donated $1,500 to the program. A full page ad was placed in the Monroe Journal. Also, continuing with events for 2021, we're going to do the Recovery and Remembrance Ceremony Thursday, July 22nd, the Summer Blast Kids Celebratory Parade, July 23rd, and we'll round that out with the Old Timers Antique Tractor and Classic Car Show, September 11th. I was a member participating in the Alabama All Pro Health Committee, responsible for a $35,000 grant each year for a 5-year period, including out the workout conditioning equipment at Effie May Park, the art murals downtown and throughout Monroe County. We were also responsible for securing a refrigerated cooling trailer for feeding the Gulf Coast and for the farmers market, and as well as a tent cover for the splash pad and benches. I'm also participating in the upcoming Alabama Literary Festival on the program committee with the museum, Coastal Alabama Community College, the library, the Chamber of Commerce, and Main Street. And I also completed the Leadership Now class for 2021. So that was all done while we were in pandemic mode. So I thought we got a lot of progress.
I want to take this opportunity to thank you and other members of the Monroeville the Beautiful campaign. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's better than what it was. When you take into consideration in some places how much trash has been picked up on the following couple of Saturdays and brought in and turned in, and also for the group from the church that went out Veterans Drive and picked up. They brought in a good bit. So, you know, I think it's working, and it goes back, it's changing attitudes. As I drive down the streets these days, I see people out there starting to pick up the trash. And like I said, it's a cultural change. And Freedom Fest, I went out there and I even got bullied into riding the bull. So.
Did you ride it?
I rode it.
Okay.
Didn't get thrown off either. So, you know, I think we have been creative in trying to help our people deal with this COVID situation.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Ms. Bruton for her ideas and working to work around these things.
Well, I appreciate that.
She's doing a real good job. Everybody talking about what a great job she's doing. And since she couldn't be a city employee, I think we need to give her a $2,000 break.
Well, let's see, you all could discuss that.
We'll discuss
Yeah,
that
what y'all
when
think
we-
about that?
I didn't get a $2,000 raise.
I didn't get one either. Did you get one?
No.
I don't
but
think it's
she's doing
anybody
such a
did.
great job.
I
you
don't
know,
think
with
so.
everything.
I'm not arguing that point, but again,
And she didn't get the raise that the others got,
but,
the city
but
employee.
she's in different status
Well,
than the
let's
other
make
folks.
her a city employee then.
No, she's different status than what the others are. It's event coordinator contracted out.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think we can go back and we'll discuss how to amend the contract. Yeah. Take it from
This is not the time to discuss it first of all.
Yeah, but I just
This is
want-
not the time to discuss
I
it.
know it's not the time. to
Then,
discuss
then
it, but I'm
those,
just-
it's,
I want
late-
y'all to be
you
thinking
can,
about
you can
it.
bring all things, those are good valid points. This is not the time to discuss it.
Okay, on the left side of the portfolio is the city of Monroeville's events calendar for 2021, 2022. And that's kind of what I've proposed for right now. Some things may change again because of COVID, like we had to this past year. We've had to, wait and work around schools and their graduations and proms before we could get things going out of the gate. So we are cautious, but we are aware that dates may change because of that, because it is taxpayer money and we want it to be successful. And we don't want to interfere with school projects because everybody will be at the school. So we are highly in tune with the school calendars. In the back is the proposed calendar for 21, 22, and the actual budget for it. There's a proposed list of community events and what their descriptions are, and the actual existing budget possible add-ons for 21 and 22 are along with it. So it's all there on the left. So you can see that. I wanted to add in something that we did back in 2018 that was removed, and that would be the witches ride that we did to promote Halloween. And we would do that on a Thursday evening, more for the adults, and promote shopping downtown and to promote kind of like a girls' night out. And we believe that would be successful. The reason why we had to cancel it that year was because it rained. And we were so close upon Halloween and it was really, really raining and we were strapped with the weather. And it actually didn't clear with Halloween that year until like 12 o'clock and we were able to continue. So I would like to add that back into our budget, as well as going in and adding back in barbecue blanket and blues. I think it was successful. I think we could add more bands, make it a series, and to promote people to stay in Monroeville, especially during the summer months. We've had the pandemic, it's opening up, people are leaving, but people remembered that what events we put on while they were here. So I think it would encourage people to stay here and dine in our restaurants, to go ahead and shop in our stores and stay local. I think there's a lot of people that are staying locally still. I think the weather it's very hot out, but if we have them in the evening, I think it'll be cool enough that we can do this and we can socially distance still, even if we do have this variant that does come in, which it sounds like it's hit all 50 states already. I think we've learned how to work with COVID. People have to take their vaccines, and that is important. That is so important. But I think this is a way where we can still work around things, having outside events instead of inside events, and be able to celebrate as a community and still draw people from other areas. I mean, Freedom Fest, we drew in people from Bruton. I saw a councilman's girlfriend over here from Atmore and Evergreen. And, we have people from Thomasville over here. And they made sure that they were seen by me. And I was like, hello. So we're bringing in people to our town, even while the pandemic is continuing. I know that the governor has opened everything up for business, but we still have to be cautious. And I believe this is one way we could do that. We have a couple of bands that we can use. Jamal, that we just had at Freedom Fest, was, everybody likes Jamal. He's great. He's great with the crowd. He's great with young. He's great with old. He's just a really good mix for our town. Also, there's a few others that have played with him before that he recommended to me that I think that they would like to work together, and we could do back-to-backs. We could do it like a whole day thing, or we could do a 2-day series of it and have people stay in town. So it's something that we could accomplish. The other thing I recommended this year, and I'm just putting that out there, is a sunflower festival. If we did a state of Alabama sunflower festival, no one's doing it. A lot of people grow sunflowers here. They're very easy to grow. We have a lot of farms here that grow them. And I think that's something that we can do here, add a band and, kind of do what we do, but put it out at Veterans Park again. And I think we could accomplish that for August.
For sunflowers, that's pretty late year. If you can grow. They're
They're out now.
They're fast, as I said, they're finishing out now. It's the
Yeah.
end of.
Yeah.
August-
So we
August.
could do it, it's gonna fluctuate with when they're gonna be, in prime season. So.
They're the end of prime season right now. So
Right.
if you got August date, you're at least a month behind that.
So we have to just go ahead and change the actual timing of that, and we would be okay. The other things that I recommended this year, is adding a tree, or adding a star to our Christmas tree, and adding ornaments to the tree for Mardi Gras. We can take out the red ornaments off the tree and we would still have gold and green, and all we would have to do was add purple. So I thought that was something that we could do that very easily. And I worked with 2 companies, one that actually we purchased the tree from back in 2008, and they do not make that tree anymore and do not make stars for that tree anymore. So we went with the other company that was at the Huntsville location, and I contacted with them, and we were able to take a picture of the top of our tree and measure it out and show them our pipe for up at the top, and they said that they can make the star for the tree. So they can do that for just under, I think it was like $600. So, and then bringing it over, I'm sure there'll be some fees with that as well. But I think that we can order that. That's something that I think that's been missing for a long time, and I think it would be a nice added feature for the mayor and the city council to have this year to talk about it, tree lighting. So that's what I think that would be something that we could add. The other thing I recommend, and we've said this a long time ago, is adding a pavilion to Veterans Park, because if we keep paying that tent fee, you're looking at $1,200, maybe $1,300 every time we utilize that tent, which is good for the businesses. But what's even better is we're lacking in venues still here.
Yeah, I mean,
And what-
I've talked to Michael for years about discussing that. It's not anything new, but that is the idea. Been a holdup is deciding for sure where we want to put it. But if it could once we put it, it's a permanent item. But it could also be an item that could actually be rented. We charge for using it.
Like if we did family reunions, or somebody wanted to do a birthday party or a big, family thing out there.
The fact of the rental part of it, yes. You could, pole barn, basically what you want to putting out there is a permanent covered item.
And then actually adding electricity to go with it, and fans, something to cool people off. And I think maybe adding some restrooms out there to take the weight off the YMCA's restrooms.
Yeah, 'cause
I think if we're gonna do it, we need to do it right.
This last one out here, the generator put work, and all the power will come.
We need more electricity out there. Those events are growing, and it's pretty dangerous when a generator goes down, especially if you got musical equipment hooked up to it. It can affect their sound equipment. Or, we had fans that were going down. We really needed the fans, so it was getting around 8:30 when it happened, 9 o'clock, so we just pulled it at that point. So, and we were working without it, but we had a really busy Freedom Fest this year, and we included all the businesses. It's really hard because during the pandemic, there was a lot of older families like our age, that's their side hustle. You have Cherry Street Barbecue. And a lot of people just didn't make it through the pandemic. They were either scared or just decided all the heck with it. So we utilize a lot of our restaurants that we had in town. So we had Vickiana's out there. We had Papa John's Pizza out there. We had Ronnie Mae out there with his barbecue. And we also had the Italian ice out there, and we had a couple of snow cone companies to come out to keep everybody cool. And we had Pepsi out there. Downtown Rentals went ahead and rented the actual Pepsi little station out there and sold drinks and did snow cones out there for the kids too. So it all worked itself out, but it was good because we promoted all the local restaurants that we had, which was nice. And they understand the importance of being out there because it does give them PR for their businesses and they hear it the next day. So it's a good thing. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I wanted you all to look over it and see what you think. I put in a little increase on a few things that I was interested in getting paid, as well as my phone and office expenses and my social marketing. We kept that the same because it covers the same amount of events. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. So, but I wanted you all to kind of discuss it and see what you thought. So you all can do that on your own. But I hope this portfolio kind of guides you through your decision-making process and everything you needed. And makes it easy for you to go through everything. We were 5 minutes late, so sorry.
And we are seeking
Professional services,
the work.
what's that one?
Professional services is for bands.
That's your increase in that, your band's doing for the barbecue thing or whatever?
Yes,
That's the biggest increase.
all the add-ons are on that page. There's a page that actually has the actual add-ons that are different from last year. And they're right here. They have the city seal on top.
Okay.
So everything that I wanted to add on is actually on that page to the existing.
So we're giving you like 27,615, right? So, how many years have you been?
8.
8 years, 27.
I've been here for 8 years and developed this program for you all. We went from nothing to something. And I think people like it. I really think they truly like it. Does anybody have any other questions? The only other thing I wanted to add in supplies with Touch Truck really was to get a big cooler that we can utilize for hydration, and we can use that out at Touch Truck, and we can use that when we're out at Freedom Fest, and we have larger events because we had to purchase about $155 worth of water and Gatorades this year, and we used it for the police department, fire department, public works, and we used it for the eating contest.
That was one of the Pepsi, according to their contract to supply.
We thought that it doesn't say it in their actual contract, but normally they would do that for us. And they upped it this year for some reason. So that was why we were over on our supply list, was because we had to purchase that, because there was just no way around it with the heat. But we appreciate everybody that was out there with us, working with us, because it took not only the city, it took the county and everybody else out there. That was a really large one. I think people were ready to get out. So if that's any indication of how we're going to be for 2022, 21, finish that in 22. I think we're, we just got to keep everybody safe. So, well, I'm gonna get going so you can get Darlene in here.
You get some nice pictures in the winter. Journal.
Yeah, thank you.
Did
so
y'all see the
much.
pictures in the winter? Journal? Did y'all see the pictures?
I didn't look at it.
Thank you. Okay.
What's the next number? Is there another number on here?
Oh, you talking about EDA,
Yeah.
Darlene's coming.
What's,
She'll be the
what's,
Oh, she comes out
Yeah.
of the general expenditures
Okay.
under professional.
As we look at
it's just one thing on hers, or what we donate to them is all basically amounts to.
You said you want
So
to look
it's,
at the.
so it's not in the sheet.
yeah, on event.
It's not in the book.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think that we do need to go through it, if she's been getting the same pay for the last 8 years. We need to-
She
She ain't been getting the pay for the
No.
last same 8 years.
She's gotten lots. of
Been a
increase.
major increase from the original amount.
But just
And
like
how long has she
27.
been at what she got now?
Well, she did a
I
half a
think
year the
2
first year.
years. I
Yeah.
think 2 years at
Yeah.
this amount,
2 years?
because her contract's actually up this year. So
It's
we'll
up
have to
this year.
review it.
So we can go back and consider negotiate at that point, whether it be $500 or nothing, or 2,000 or whatever. We negotiate. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
You can sit up here, Ms. Darlene.
It's okay if I have my water.
That's fine.
Mhm.
And it started raining. I started having problems with coffee. So that's just what I needed, right?
So, thank you.
We had one of these made for all of our coffee. Is everybody else leaving?
Yeah, we-
Give her 2,
Yeah.
and then I'll need one for Larry up here.
Okay.
Thank you.
And, previously,
Welcome.
oh, thank you, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed
Glad
to start that
to
way.
have you here. And I know as we go through, and I imagine you have it right here in your book, where you talk about some of your successes and everything. And I see them all listed out.
Oh, yeah. First page.
So that is great. I know you've been hindered some by COVID this year, but if things proceed to open back up, I think we can get out and be able to do some additional recruiting. I've had the opportunity to talk to Luke, met with Lieutenant Governor Ainsworth, and he said, I gotta get back with him, said, hey, he's got something scheduled where I get a chance to meet with the director of the tech. And so I think it might have some attention coming from the Lieutenant Governor's office.
That's great. Great,
Saw the pictures in the paper.
yeah,
Did y'all see the pictures in the
I
paper?
did. Previously, at the other budget meetings, not given a letter requesting funding, so I brought that this time as well. The mayor has a lease in hard copy if you want a copy of it,
Okay,
if you want to give them a copy this afternoon.
right.
And just let you know, Darlene, we're on YouTube, so if you don't need to say anything appropriate
Okay,
that you don't want on YouTube.
okay. Thank you for reminding me of that. Just trying to give you all an opportunity to read the things that I handed out, but, I would like to say while you were reading, I want to acknowledge that Jody designed this for me. And, how much I appreciate her hard work on that, and I just wanted to give that public. Recognition that she did that work for me.
Great.
Um, Do y'all have questions? Do y'all want me to just talk about some of these or tell me how you,
Which number
what the
is it?
format is.
It's not, it's just a
in the-
line item on here.
Oh,
It's
okay.
in our general expenditures and it's under professional services that we pay her out of.
Um,
The last.
You're
2
looking,
years.
you're looking for an increase of $7,000.
Well, it's the amount that I got last year. Well, it was 81 because I made a mistake and didn't ask for that other 1,000. But it was the money that we were giving, you all were giving Coastal Gateway.
Yeah.
And they dissolved, so I had asked for that. And I will tell you that, you know, our funding pays salaries. And that's about that's all it pays, is salaries and benefits, of course. But I'll just,
The county contributes how much?
75 plus our building. And they partner with some projects as well. They're going to be a big partner with.
Yeah,
us.
that's one thing with us is we wind up during the year, do other
You do,
additional
you
things
do.
towards EDA above and beyond this. So
Mhm.
that's,
And I really appreciate that, but I think, I can't remember projects, what I've asked money for extra, but it's always, I think, for a good cause. And our funding, you know, we do get funding from private industry, and that's the way we're really able to do a lot of things, is because of those private funds that we receive. There's something.
So the increase is.
From 75 to.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
82.
find too.
we're squared around right there. That's
Oh, okay,
Mhm,
highlighted right there.
right,
so you got 7,000 last year.
75,000, 75,000.
yeah, plus I did get the extra, but that was given to Coastal Gateway.
We used to give up to 25,000 to Coastal Gateway doing for their recruiting services.
Mhm.
And we decreased it down to 5,000, then they dissolved.
Okay.
So this is our only presently recruiting tool we have, is through the EDA, Economic Development.
Actually, it was 7,000 that they received,
Was it? Okay.
but right before they dissolved. But, and last year I received the extra $7,000, but then I think Mary left it in another line item instead of putting it in.
So
with
technically
my
what you're saying, she
contribution.
got 82,000 last year plus things that we approved during the year to help with different projects.
Mhm.
And we were just recently talking about doing the stuff at the Hornady Incubator Center.
Right,
Mhm.
That's funneled through her, and so in a sense, it's still, that's an item that's costing us also. I mean, it's not that all the money she gets, but just the majority of the money to get this part basically goes toward salaries. Other things are, that we give as help promote things,
Along the way.
projects.
To make things happen in the
Okay.
city, yeah.
I understand.
It winds up costing us more than this, but this is basically the line item.
Okay,
This is to keep the organization going.
Okay.
So, and you just don't know how much we appreciate it, and I think our existing businesses, industry really appreciate it as well. The CDC, the Community Development Corporation, I'm also the director of that. And so that is where the money, if you all give money to me, for the CDL classes project, that's a project, that will go through the CDC, because that's where we're raising the funds for that. And I have had several companies who were not contributors that have contributed significantly toward this project, the CDL project. So it's not the city's project alone. Y'all are helping me so much by providing the building and the track for the truck drivers to train. But we are going to have to do a lot of work on that building. Current project, everybody thinks I haven't been doing anything maybe, but we have something going on constantly all of the time. Our projects are so behind, people just think that when they hear about it, that's what it was, just when they heard about it. But like the CDL classes, I was working on it before the end of the year last year. It takes a long time to bring some of these things together. And
In addition to the CDL classes, she's been trying to work on dual enrollment for the CDL classes, and not only that, but for, we had meetings with industry, some of which I participated in. And in doing that, we identified the needs of the industry that needs to be addressed. It's not something that the city, because we don't control the education system, but it needs to be addressed because the industry is constantly telling us that they need people in industrial maintenance and millwright. And there's some companies that are even willing to provide apprenticeships, but you got to have a program to get them in there. And I think there's a good paying job and help stop the leakage. In some areas that we're experiencing when people saying they're looking for a good paying job, and that's where you keep them, especially the young ones, because everybody is not meant to go to college. And that's one of the things that I want to go back and focus on and work toward getting those programs available. But one of the things I said, and it's about how you go back. It's an issue of marketing. So many folks do not understand the value of an education and employment that they can get here in the county. And there's other factors out there that affects our ability to hire and retain people or getting people to go to work. It's misinformation about what happens if I get a job. Does it stop my like they got the stimulus for COVID? But most people don't realize you gotta make over $75,000 before that impacts you. And see, that's misinformation out there. That's why some folks, is my belief that some people are not seeking employment because they think of the effect that's going to have on them. So we need to cure that type of misinformation. Yeah, the best way I know to do it is through is designing a marketing campaign. And then I think that it involves so many of our entities, how we can work with the chamber, how we can work with the DRA, how we can work with CBA, and come together with a marketing campaign that addresses employment. And who knows what'll come out of that? Let's come up with more marketing for the city. So this is a beautiful city. I keep getting comments about how beautiful our downtown is. And I know the chamber does a good job of going back and marketing, but at the same time, if we're recruiting for industry, that's an asset. And we can market that also. So that's why they tell Jody this is impressive. So we may be calling on her to help make some more marketing material.
she did do most of the marketing material until Logan came to the chamber. So they both do excellent work, Logan and.
They can work together.
Yes, that would be perfect. I am just FYI, I can't say much about it, but I am working with another company. That's deciding between Monroeville and a place in Florida, but I've been assured that we probably have the better chance. And so I'm hoping that's going to come through. And they said around 24 months, they should have about 24, I think it was 24 employees. So I'm working on that. You're talking about money. That's one of those things where we're just like teetering on having the right, everything that they need and them coming here. So, but they don't qualify for manufacturing. So they don't qualify for state incentives. And so, you know, if it comes down to it, I may ask for the city to help me pay some, like they're moving the equipment here or something, but that's just FYI, but I don't know that I'm gonna have to ask the city for that, but they said that it's gonna cost about $15,000 for them to move their half of their equipment here. So it's a company that's expanding. It's been in business since '82, $20 million in revenue. And all that's public information, so I can share that part, because I did the research on it. But I am working on that. And you all know about the downtown restaurant and entertainment. That was in the paper a little bit today about that. Downtown food retail, that's already opened up, I think, since we sent these out for printing. It was Teresa Bullard that I was working with on that.
I hope at the end of the day, she was sold out. Teresa Bullard. Yeah, she sold out several things.
Good.
I'm having her lasagna, salad, and bread for dinner tonight.
That's
And,
what I was trying to get.
uh-oh, now I feel bad.
So she gonna live like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes,
That was just
yes,
Thursday.
but she will provide food other days if you order ahead of time. She'll do the cooking and have someone else to meet you to deliver it. But that's gonna be a great addition to downtown, I think. Going on through, there's so many things that I could say, but I can't say. I'm sorry, but there's a couple of businesses that I'm working with that's gonna move in around September downtown. So have I told you everything you want to know? Or you want to ask a question? Yes, ma'am.
Meet and greet for Dr. Thompson. Is that the council for good?
Yes, ma'am. If you remember when he was hired, and we sent out invitations, but I don't know if you received one or not, but we did send out invitations for that. I had a reception for him, trying to, start that relationship so we could hopefully get some programs that we need. I have also just recently held a roundtable, not with Dr. Pouncey, but with the workforce development part of his school, and had them talk to industry, and all of our industry said that they needed industrial maintenance millwrights. And that the apprenticeships came out of that meeting. And so that's going to be something that we're pushing very hard. And then I had a meeting with the mayor, and there was a big room of industry people there. And we talked about the different things about workforce development. One of the main things that has come out of this is we have to have more career tech dual enrollment, more career tech period from the community college. So other counties get that, and I'm just asking that we get the same service that other counties get. And the CDL program, the mayor mentioned the CDL dual enrollment. That is a pilot program. Nobody's ever done that in the state of Alabama. And so that's what the Trucking Association is contributing toward this project. And I just say thank you very much. Alabama Trucking Association is contributing $25,000 toward the project. And so I think that they're to be commended that they're taking an interest in this community to get this started. And then they hope to take it all over the state with dual enrollment.
Thing I see about it, I always talk about the three mainstays of industry. Actually, number 4 is probably going to be trucking, because we got a lot of trucks that come in out of Monroeville, and that's your main way of transporting goods and delivering.
Right. And I was just talking with Judge Silcox a little while ago, and she told me that she was so glad that we were doing the CDL classes because that's something that she can send people that are behind on child support to, and she can defer their child support possibly, and then have them go through just 2 months of training and they can have a job, a good job that will pay child support. Any other questions or comments? Well, thank you all so much, and I appreciate your consideration of our request, and I will say that it has been great working with all of you for the last year, and I hope that we can continue to work together.
The contract, and I was gonna make copies and give everybody.
Okay, I'll go make.
We're
All
supposed
right.
to get that done tomorrow. Didn't take very long at all.
Okay, well, thank you all
Have
again
a
so
good day.
much for everything. We're gonna get a picture taken. I didn't bring my phone back here because I didn't want to accidentally get it disturbed.
You wanna do it?
You don't mind?
Alright.
You don't mind?
You already wrote.
So we're taking our mask off over here?
Y'all got up and everything running?
On three. One, two, three. One more. On three, one.
They wanted my other one to be.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I hope it turned out okay. I don't do good in pictures. I don't do well in pictures.
Basically, I paid 42 for it 2.5 years ago.
You know how to do that? I mean.
37.5 and put
Yeah.
the runners
I got
on it,
some
and there's another thing they're gonna put on it.
Hell, technology, man.
And
You can send it
they're
to
more
me.
expensive truck, but I mean,
can-
they
Okay.
had to pay a little more money than that, but they aren't
Well, thank you all.
going that way.
Appreciate it.
You, you were talking about everybody being dressed up. And I went back and I told staff and everything, and said, you know, when I see, if you look professional, people can't tell if you're professional or not. So I told them that's why I wanted everybody to come in, every budget hearing I had to go to when I was with the state and everything. I was either in full dress uniform or business suit. And so that's why I upped the game for them. You know, and I'm proud of them. They look good. They really look good, you know. I'll go back and I get the like the fire chief and police chief. I can go and get pictures with them. I know I got one with Michael. And I get one with the man. Oh, yeah, they were full dress. They were full dress.
Is Adrian doing better?
So this was the lease agreement that we talked about, had Chipper go through and review it. You know, he had recommendation for a slight change in it, which she has done. And you know, he had no problems with it. There was one thing on there about purchase of the asphalt by doing it through the city, to get the asphalt cheaper. Just doing the road out there is going to cost right at $49,000 if R&R did the whole thing. But if she can purchase the asphalt through the city at a discounted rate, and at the same time, the county is going out there and they're going to build the road and put the base in. So then R&R will come back and do the blue top and then we'll put the asphalt up. We did Are we saying now, then?
Yes,
We can take it
Yeah.
off YouTube.